It's crazy hot at the moment, so stay hydrated. I watched Green Lantern the other day. I had seen it before, but I could not remember anything about it. When did that movie come out? 2011, I think. That's the date I can find on the box. Just to talk about the box for a sec. We've got at the front, this is Ryan Reynolds. We know that. Purple chap here dies in like the first 10 minutes. These guys are like kind of in the movie, but barely. Here's the villain. These 5 people here, I don't think they have any lines in the movie. Like, I think they're just background characters. And they haven't even put like any of the other humans on who actually do things in the movie. This film is famous for being very bad. And it is. And this isn't going to be like a review or anything. This is just like the thoughts I had when I watched the movie, I guess. First of all, the start of the movie is a big mess. It takes maybe like 15-20 minutes to like even see Ryan Reynolds. I might be exaggerating a bit there. The movie's very boring, so it feels like it takes forever. So the movie opens and we get some backstory that's like, this is how the bad guy happened, because there's the Green Lantern Corps. The leaders of it are these little alien chaps. They're not this little. They're like 3 feet tall or something. And one of them goes nasty, and they're like, we could harness the power of fear and make yellow lantern thing. That's the whole Green Lantern thing. There's different emotions, different colours. It's kind of a mess. There's a lot of lore in Green Lantern that you don't have to deal with other superheroes. So we get a flashback explaining how this one little chap wanted to use the power of fear, but then the fear overtook him and he became Parallax, the big bad guy, but one dude trapped him away. Purple dude off the front of the box trapped him, so he couldn't do his nasty business anymore. We have that. Then we have the title card, Green Lantern. Wow, we've not seen the main character yet, but that's fine. That's fine. But then we have another scene. There's 3 little chaps, Green Lantern chaps. I don't know why I'm calling everyone chaps. Just in the mood. I think the heat's getting to me. And they're walking on the surface of this planet. And they're like, this is a place where we shouldn't be. And then they fall through the surface of the planet and they find the trapped dude, the nasty one, who we just got everything explained about. And because they like fall there, we have the classic scene where it's like a close-up of them. And then they open their eyes. It's like, oh, shocking, eye-opening jump scare. And then the nasty person is awake again, and they suck the skeletons out of their bodies in just an amazing CGI effect. And then that's basically the end of that scene. They just suck the skeletons right out of those dudes, because they were so scared, feeding off their fear, sucking skeletons. And then we get a 6 month later, the skeleton sucking dude, Parallax, is now a big space cloud, and he finds our purple friend in space, whose name is Abin Sur. It doesn't matter, he'll be dead soon. Big cloud fella barfs a laser at him and like injures him, but he escapes before he gets his skeleton sucked out, and he flies down to Earth. That's 3 different scenes, all before the plot of the film. None of them really matter. We could have just had one of them that set everything up, instead of having 3 different scenes that each did the same thing, basically. And another thing about the scenes is they are all entirely CGI, pretty much. All the characters are aliens. All of them are on other planets or spaceships. Like, at most, there was an actor wearing like a motion capture suit on a green screen set. There are no like real people in any of these scenes. And this is like 10-15 minutes of movie. The opening of this film is just terrible. Let's talk about the CGI. So I've already said the entire opening of the film is CGI. And one of the things that is famous about this movie is that Ryan Reynolds, his Green Lantern outfit is CGI. It looks awful. It looks really bad. And of course, like, we know this would happen. Any CGI will look bad like 10 years later. So Ryan Reynolds, his suit is made of CGI. He is quite often not on Earth, and whenever he's not on Earth, the planet is also CGI. Mark Strong is playing Sinestro. If no one had heard of him, his name is Sinestro. Someone took the word sinister and like swapped the last two letters over. You think his betrayal is inevitable, but he just doesn't do it in this film. They set that up for the sequel. In the sequel, he's gonna betray everyone. But in this film, he's just there and he didn't do anything. None of the characters do anything. There's too many characters in the film, none of them are important. I was talking about CGI. Sinestro is like a CGI dude. You can tell it's Mark Strong's face, but like they've given him pointy ears and red skin and a stupid hairline. There's a whole bunch of CGI characters. Like Mark Strong is probably the best of the other Green Lanterns. The other Green Lanterns who aren't Sinestro are aliens. Every time Green Lantern uses his powers, that's CGI. Like he makes a big CGI fist come out, and it looks not good most of the time. Which leads quite nicely to no one in this movie has any imagination. Here's a basic background on Green Lantern's powers. He's got a ring, and like the ring can like shoot blasts out or whatever, and it lets him fly. But the main power of the ring is you can think something, make a construct of said thing out of hard light. I don't know if that's how they explain it, but like using the ring, you can make something appear, and it's made of light, but you can like touch it. I'm explaining this really poorly. I feel like there's a really obvious word that I am missing. Tangible is tangible light. That doesn't sound great either. So, in theory, you could do anything with your Green Lantern powers. Let's go over some of the things that Ryan Reynolds does with his ring. He wants to punch someone, so he makes a big fist. He wants to block an attack, so he builds a wall in front of him. He wants to fight someone, so he makes a sword. And just to point out, he's like training with Sinestro at this point, and Ryan Reynolds makes a sword out of his Green Lantern ring. And Sinestro's like, ha, that's rubbish, you stupid Earth man. And his answer is that he makes 2 swords. They call me Johnny 12 Guns on account of my 12 guns. What do they call you, partner? Johnny 13 Guns. Haha. But yeah, throughout the entire film, he can't come up with anything interesting to use his powers for. Like, he just like makes a big gun at one point. It's like, yep, great. He was a pilot, so he just like makes a plane. The one interesting use of his powers, and like one of the like genuinely clever parts of the film, is he goes to see his nephew, and in his nephew's room, he's got a Hot Wheels thing. And when Ryan Reynolds is leaving the room, he puts the car, and it goes around a loop-the-loop or whatever, and it jumps off. And then it pays off later. When Ryan Reynolds needs to stop a helicopter from crashing, he makes like a car construct around it and puts it on like a Hot Wheels track, and it's really cool. And that's the one interesting use of the Green Lantern power in the entire film. Everything else is garbage. Oh, speaking of Ryan Reynolds' nephew, the film is obsessed with family members. So we have like a few flashbacks of Ryan Reynolds and his dad. His dad died because the plane he was testing exploded. And he keeps talking about his dad for the whole film, and his dad's catchphrase was something like, it's part of the job to not be scared. Not a great catchphrase, I don't think I got it right. But that like ties into him being a Green Lantern. You're not meant to be scared if you're a Green Lantern. And like at the end of the film he admits he is scared, and that's what saves the day. The movie is kind of a mess message-wise. We know there's a big nasty cloud man as like the primary antagonist. There's a secondary antagonist. He's a biologist. His dad is in the film, and his dad hates him. And his dad wants Ryan Reynolds to be his son, which is implied. This also is not really relevant to the film. I can't even remember the name of this character. I'm gonna call him Big Forehead Man on account of his big forehead. When our purple friend from the start of the film crash lands on Earth, and they need someone to do an autopsy on the first alien we've ever seen. They get Big Forehead Man to do it. This is pre-Big Forehead when they get him to do it. He's still got quite a large forehead, but it gets bigger later in the film. So they choose this guy to do it, and he sees his dad later in the film. Big Forehead Man has got some like mind powers now, and he can kind of read minds. And his dad is like thinking, oh, what a loser my son is. Oh, what a lame-o. He's pathetic. He's not doing anything with his life. And like, this is the person who was chosen to do the autopsy on the first ever alien that we have found on Earth. He's the very top of his field, which is xenobiology, the study of like alien biology. And just, if that's failure, what do they expect you to do? He can't be mad about it, because if he thinks that that's not good enough, you should have gone into a different field of work. You're the very top of your chosen profession, and you're like, no, this is not good enough. I'm not making my dad proud being the foremost expert on alien biology. The love interest is played by Blake Lively, and her character also has a dad in the movie who also doesn't really do anything. Just a lot of dads. It's a movie about dads. I've been trying to like keep this video organised by like setting myself points to talk about. Let's go off on a tangent and talk about just how weird it is. So Ryan Reynolds is like in a bar, and he leaves the bar, and when he's outside, just like a green orb forms around him and picks him up and flies off to the beach. That's where our purple chap crash landed. And it dumps him in a puddle as like comedy. Ha! Ryan Reynolds in a puddle. But Ryan Reynolds then gets up and is immediately ready to act. He's just been at the bar. He has been picked up by an unknown green orb that flew him across the city to the beach, dumped him in a puddle, and Ryan Reynolds is like, this is fine, there is an alien in a spaceship, I need to go help him. There is not even confusion. He knows exactly what to do. I haven't even mentioned that Ryan Reynolds' character's best friend is like a hacker genius played by Taika Waititi. I must have not realised at the time and then completely forgot that he was in this film. Mainly because he has nothing to do. You think, oh, he's the hacker best friend, that'll come up later when they need to break into a government building or something. But no, at a certain point, he just stops appearing in the film. Like a lot of the other characters. At a certain point, the dads just stop turning up. His nephew, after his one appearance and making it seem like him and Ryan Reynolds are really close, his nephew never shows up again and is never mentioned again. Neither is the rest of Ryan Reynolds' family. They have a training montage on the Green Lantern home planet with Fish Dude and Big Buff Alien Man. They don't show up again until the very end of the film. There's a lot of stuff going on at the start of the film, and they drop all of it. Like, Ryan Reynolds loses his job as like a pilot. While he's getting fired, one of the dudes who's there is like, you better watch your back, Ryan Reynolds' character. And then I immediately forgot about him because I don't even know his name. When Ryan Reynolds is leaving the bar for the second time in the film, this time he doesn't get picked up by a green orb. Oh, he does. That's at the end of the scene though. He leaves the bar, then gets attacked in the parking lot by this dude who told him to watch his back and his 3 friends. Ryan Reynolds punches with his Green Lantern ring, and a big fist comes out and punches all 3 of them. They all crash into stuff. One of them crashes into a brick wall and goes through the brick wall. Now, I'm not like a doctor, but walls are stronger than people's bodies. If you've thrown someone hard enough that they go through the wall, they're dead. That person is no longer alive. Like, at the very best, you have broken an awful lot of bones and you're in a bad condition. So he punches these 3 dudes. One of them goes through a wall, probably dead. The other 2, also probably dead. Ryan Reynolds gets picked up in an orb and flown into space. They love picking people up in orbs in this one car park. But then those 3 dudes are never mentioned again in the film. What happened? Did like 2 different people write the script and then just like squish them together? It's an entire mess. Amanda Waller is in this film. If you've not seen Green Lantern, you may have seen Suicide Squad and know that Amanda Waller is now played by Viola Davis, who is a good actress. She's also in this film, not played by Viola Davis, but she gets smashed into a window and then Ryan Reynolds like creates some water that like washes her out of the room to like try and keep her safe. But we never see her again in the film. We've got no idea if she's okay. How are we meant to care about any of the characters in the movie if the movie forgets they exist? I literally don't have a good conclusion to this. The movie's bad. We all know it's bad. It's just fun to like dunk on things for a bit. So everything Ryan Reynolds makes with his ring is green, because he's the Green Lantern. At one point in the film, he makes a flamethrower, and the flamethrower is green, but then it shoots just actual flames out, like real red flames. Like, shouldn't they also be green, because they're being made by the ring? To be fair, I don't really know how the ring works, but neither does the movie, so it's fine. There's another point where large forehead man, now at full forehead capacity, is like, I've got your girlfriend and she's floating up in the air and I'm going to drop her on the floor so she dies. And Ryan Reynolds is like, hey, don't do that. I'll give you the Green Lantern ring. And he's like, oh, that's all I've ever wanted. Even though he's got like crazy mind powers. But he like takes the ring and puts it on. And then he like shoots a blast out that explodes something. And he's like, ha, I'm going to blast you now, Ryan Reynolds. And he goes to blast him and shoots a green thing out, and it just like stops in front of Ryan Reynolds' face, and he's like, haha, it only works if you were chosen, like me, because he gets chosen to be the Green Lantern. And the green ball like flies back at the dude. But like, he shot 2 blasts out. What if all he wanted to do with the ring was explode that one bit of the lab that he exploded? Then it does work if you've not been chosen. You just can't shoot Ryan Reynolds with it. That's one specific thing you can't do with it. There's a lot of other useful things you could do with that ring, as long as you didn't want to shoot Ryan Reynolds. I guess what I'm saying is the movie's not good.